Anyways, today I want to talk about some stuff. What is this doing? What is this doing? Okay, cool. I don't know what I'm doing. So I just wanted to... Hello, everybody. Hello. How are you doing today? So I just wanted to do a quick follow-up to the unboxing video that I posted last year. So I just wanted to do a quick follow-up to the BGears PC case unboxing video that I posted last week. And just give you a little bit of an update / review on what it's like to build in this case, and if I think it's worth it. So to start off with, this case right now is currently $64.99 on Newegg and then $52.80 on Amazon. And if you want a short, quick answer, the answer is I wouldn't recommend it at that price. There's a lot of other options that you can choose from or look at. Drop $10 off that price or add $10 to that price, and there's a lot of good cases around that price range. But to give you a long answer, I just want to go through some of the things and tell you about this case, I guess. So first off, let's go through the things that I enjoyed about this case and have liked so far. So this case is really small for an ATX case. So if you look pretty close right here at those standoffs, those bottom standoffs and those screw holes right there, these ones right here, right there. So those are the screw holes for the standoffs for an ATX motherboard. So you can tell that with that, you're getting really, really close with your ATX motherboard to both the top and the bottom. So we'll see if you can see those. So there's not a lot of room on the top or the bottom. So that makes it really small if you want a small case. I think that's a really good thing. It's hard to find a small case that'll fit ATX motherboards. It's hard to find a lot of cases that will fit ATX motherboards. It's hard to find a lot of small cases that will fit ATX motherboards, and so I think that's one benefit to this. Another benefit is that you get some RGB. So, and this has a few options. And so, I mean, that's always nice. Everybody likes that nowadays, just having the flashy stuff. So, another thing to be aware of, and that's a benefit, is that you are given this glass case, so another benefit is that you have a glass side panel. So you can see here, it includes a glass side panel. It doesn't cover the full side of the case, but I'm kind of a fan of that, so I like that. I think the design looks good. Also, what I really like about this case, one of the other pros of this case, is I just like how it looks. I think it's not too overstated. It's a pretty simple looking case. There's nice cutouts and stuff like this that just look pretty nice in general. But at the same time, it's not too crazy. It's not too flashy. And so I like that about that. It's just a nice, simple, good-looking case. And so getting on to the last thing that I think is good about this case is probably the price, if the price is right. So when I bought it, it was on sale for... When I bought this case, it was on sale for about $32. And so at $32, there's not a lot of options where you can get a glass side panel, or this clean looking of a case. Okay, so let's get into some of the negatives about this case. So the first thing that stands out a lot to me is the build quality. This case is built out of really cheap metal, and was a few times screwing in the standoffs that either the metal like in the case bent a little bit and it was really hard to get the standoff screws in, or the standoff screws would start to strip. So just that build quality you can tell is lacking. But also you can see that there's a lot of like flex in this in just barely moving it. So it's not all that sturdy, which I mean, if it's just sitting on your desk and you're not doing a lot with it, that's not the biggest deal to me. But when you're building in it and stuff, like getting standoffs or screws stuck, or sometimes feeling like you screw them in once and that's the only time you're going to be able to use that screw hole, that's a little difficult for me to swallow, just because if I need to replace things or replace a motherboard and it ends up being hard to replace that, that's just not something I want to deal with. One of the other cons that's also kind of a positive that I mentioned was the LED strip. So I added this LED fan in the back, but this LED strip in the front is really nice looking, and there's a lot of options. There's a button on the side that you can press that changes those options. But that being said, when you turn your computer off, the option that you were on, or the LED pattern that you were on previously, doesn't get saved. So it always defaults to this pattern. Let's see if we can get there. So it always defaults to this pattern. And that's kind of what that looks like, which isn't my favorite. If it defaulted to this, that's kind of what I was going for, and I would be happy with that. But it's really up to personal preference. So if that's not something that you wanted, then you're kind of out of luck. You have to change it to that manually every time you turn the case on or turn your computer on. So that's just one of the drawbacks of this kind of cheap LED technology. So, and lastly, the biggest thing to me that was an issue was airflow. So you can see that we have a fan right here. We have a fan right there. And then also we have an LED fan. But essentially, when I put my more powerful components in here, my graphics card started to overheat. And that's not really something that you want in a case. So I thought that maybe adding more fans or turning them up would help. So I tried a few things and that didn't really work. But essentially, with a more powerful processor in here, right now this is just a 4th gen Core i5 4590, and then with a GTX 1050. As soon as you put components in there that will heat up a bit more, this case just turns into a hot box. With these current components, it's able to handle it just fine. So if you don't have anything powerful, or you're just wanting to maybe transplant like an Optiplex or some other pre-built into a case that you like, then it might be a good option. But as far as putting powerful components in there, or things that use a lot of electricity, for example, like an RX 580, it can't pull. There's not enough airflow to pull out the heat and replace it with cool air. And I think another one of the drawbacks and reasons why it heats up so much is this top panel right here. So it kind of looks like you can kind of see that there's holes, but they're just really small slits. They're not even cut out or anything. And so essentially when the heat tries to come up through the top, it just gets stuck. And this top panel gets hot to the touch with those other more powerful components in it. So like I said in the beginning, my recommendation, especially for this price, is to probably look for something else. If this does end up going on sale and you have some pretty power efficient components, so stuff like this, a GTX 1050 Ti, a simple, less powerful Core i5, then by all means it works just fine. But if you're going to put anything that's powerful in there, there's a high chance that it'll overheat, like my stuff did, which is not fun. So yeah, that's my review of this case and just an overview of my experience with it. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I'll try to answer anything specifically. But yeah. Thanks so much. Bye.